So obviously the timing of the Pope's visit, which would be huge news in Lebanon at any time, is especially significant here because right now, not just Lebanon's Christian community, but the country as a whole is suffering from multifaceted crises. And this is a very courageous move by the Pope to fulfill this commitment that Pope Francis had made before him to come and visit Lebanon at a moment when there are parts of the country that are effective war zones. And Israel continues to occupy several positions in the south of Lebanon. So the fact that he's stepped into this moment when Lebanese are desperate for sources of hope, again, not just Christians, but Lebanese Muslims as well, is a really strong indication to the Lebanese that the country hasn't been forgotten. And I think this has been a key concern in Lebanon, especially in the past year, because your viewers will remember that last November, Israel and Lebanon entered into a ceasefire agreement. But since then, Israel has continued to attack the country and to occupy these points in the south. And it's really encouraging for Lebanese to see that such a towering international figure will come to spread a message of hope despite these very difficult circumstances. There are Christian communities in the south. It's not as though it's only Lebanese Shia who live in the areas close to the Israeli-Lebanese border. But as we were saying earlier, I mean, this is an effective war zone in the south. So I think it's understandable that the security concerns may simply be too great for the Pope to go down there. I think, though, we also need to have a dose of perspective about what the Pope can achieve on this visit, and that is that fundamentally the Pope is a spiritual leader. And at the minute, Lebanon's crises are not really spiritual ones because it's not only Lebanese Christians who are excited to welcome the Pope. There are thousands of Muslims who've registered to go to the Pope's open mass on Tuesday. And in general, people are really excited to have such a significant international figure coming, regardless of whether they're Christian or not. But ultimately, what Lebanon really needs for peace, in addition to this sort of spiritual comfort, is political leverage to be applied on all parties to this conflict, but in particular Israel, to discontinue its violations, which it's conducted since the ceasefire was entered into. And in reality, the person who can exercise that kind of leverage over Israel lives in the White House, not in the Vatican. The Vatican has a long-standing relationship with Lebanon, in part because, as you mentioned, there is such a significant Catholic population that lives in Lebanon. And it is true that the Vatican tries to offer diplomatic assistance to Lebanon. I think it is significant that the Pope will be meeting with not just Christian leaders, but holding a multi-faith dialogue and also meeting the Prime Minister, who is a Sunni Muslim, and the Speaker of the House, who's a Shia Muslim. On the other hand, that is typical protocol in Lebanon because under the power sharing arrangement, it is typical for foreign dignitaries to meet not only with the president, who is a Maronite Christian, but also with the key Muslim leaders. So while I'm sure that there is a diplomatic aspect to the trip, I think that the main emphasis will be on the spiritual dimension.